Russian soldiers go to destroy Ukrainian basement with anti-tank mines. Ukrainian FPV drone attempts to attack Russian soldiers. Russian soldiers cautiously move slowly towards the basement. Ukrainian soldiers and Russian soldiers confronted each other, and a hot clash broke out between them. Don't forget to join our Telegram group. One of the Russian soldiers went to the Ukrainian basement with a backpack full of anti-tank mines and threw it. Meanwhile, Russian soldiers opened heavy fire to protect his friend. The Russian soldier threw the bag and ran away. Here is the moment the anti-tank mine exploded. The Russian soldiers successfully completed the operation and set off to return. But at that moment, they were attacked by a Ukrainian FPV drone. They opened fire on the drone but could not shoot it down. The drone couldn't hit the Russian soldiers. It fell close to the soldier, but nothing happened to the soldier.
Don't forget to leave your opinion about the video in the comments, subscribe, and like.
Давай, на запад, я тебя скажу тут.
Every day we see at least 5 to 6 pickup trucks shot down in videos, but usually they are drone footage. Here is a video showing how the Ukrainian pickup truck that was shot down in this image turned out after it was shot down. Testing a Russian-made handheld net launcher under field conditions. A FAB-3000 UMPK bomb was dropped on a 9-story building on the Kupiansk direction. The FAB bomb caused an earthquake. It is reported that this building is actively used by Ukrainian troops as a deployment point. Pokrovsk direction. This is how the Russian fiber-optic drone operators, Prince Vandal of Novgorod, destroyed a tank of the Ukrainian armed forces in the basement. They made great efforts to hide and protect the tank, but it still did not survive the fiber-optic drone attack. In the same direction, fiber-optic drone operators destroyed the German Marder armored vehicle after 2 accurate hits. Then, its operators found a camouflaged self-propelled howitzer and shot it down, turning it into scrap. The Russian Defense Ministry announced that the Supercam drone of the Central Group destroyed armored vehicles of the Ukrainian armed forces.
В районе цели. Есть, вижу еще один прилет.
In the direction of Toretsk, the position of the air cannon of the armed forces of Ukraine was detected. At the same time, the crew was inside. The Ukrainian soldiers did not realize that they were being followed. Just then, a Russian fiber-optic drone slowly approached the position and destroyed it with a single strike. Near Radkovka, on the Kupiansk direction, an armored vehicle with an open door was destroyed by a fiber-optic drone. In the Sumy region, the movement of the M2A2 Bradley used by the Ukrainian armed forces was detected. Then the first fiber-optic drone took off and hit the Bradley armored vehicle. The second fiber-optic came for the Bradley, which was not destroyed in the first strike, and this time the Bradley was destroyed in the second strike. You can also see other armored vehicles destroyed nearby. During an air patrol near the settlement of Lipsy in the Kharkiv region, a fiber-optic drone found a Kozak armored vehicle with its door open. We are used to seeing in every video that armored vehicles are abandoned by the crew with the door open. The vehicle was scrapped. During the clashes in the village of Tarasovka, the KVN destroyed an American-made M113 armored personnel carrier with a fiber-optic FPV drone strike. In the meantime, you can use YouTube Super Thank You to support us and our content. We need it to continue with our videos. The battle for Belgorod continues. Russian aviation used heavy FAB bombs in the Demidovka area. The Russian army and soldiers of the 34th Brigade hit infantry and positions of the Ukrainian armed forces in the forests in the border area. The positions of the Ukrainian armed forces in the forested areas near the villages of Demidovka and Popovka are attacked with FAB-500 bombs, and the objective control of the airstrikes is carried out by the soldiers of the 34th Mountain Brigade. One FAB-3000 was also used. Intense fighting continues in the area of the village of Constantinople. Soldiers of the 656th Motorized Rifle Regiment of the 29th Guards All-Vostok Army are evacuating civilians. The operation is being carried out by the AFU in conditions of incessant artillery fire. The footage provided shows how Far Eastern soldiers are evacuating children, women, and the elderly from the conflict zone. According to the soldiers, the operation will continue despite the difficult situation. Protection of civilians remains a priority. At the same time, the Russian Foreign Ministry called on international organizations to pay attention to the humanitarian situation in frontline settlements. In Chasiv Yar, the helicopter-type drone Baba Yaga was destroyed in midair by a Russian FPV drone. Fighting continues in the direction of Kharkiv. Russian reconnaissance drones have uncovered a stronghold of the Ukrainian armed forces. Several kamikaze drones hit the fortress, where machine guns and ammunition were stored. The owners of the fortress, who thought they were safe, unfortunately succumbed to Russian attacks. As a result of the explosion of the ammunition inside the castle, a big fire broke out in the castle. In the direction of Zaporizhzhia, a machine gun position of the armed forces of Ukraine was detected. Although it was camouflaged, the Russian reconnaissance unit uncovered the position. Then, one attack drone was activated and destroyed the machine gun. The trench of the soldiers of the armed forces of Ukraine, located in the Popovka direction of the Belgorod region, was detected. The fiber-optic drone Prince Vandal of Novgorod was activated and flew directly to the trench. As soon as the attack began, the soldiers began to flee to shelters. But the Russian fiber optic did not stop. It continued to attack both the trench and the bunker in succession. Every day, there are new images from the Ukrainian positions. The artillery of the Russian armed forces is constantly shelling Ukrainian positions and trenches. Don't forget to join our Telegram group.
Це щось вже нормально, пізду.
Їбашуть підери по нам.
The Russian armed forces destroyed a Ukrainian armed forces position in the direction of Krasnoarmeysk. Real and transparent images from the work of the Russian artillery. Day and night, the Russians continue to fight intensively with all their forces. For months on this channel, we have been showing the attacks made by the fiber optic drone. Many people wonder what a fiber optic drone looks like and how it works. This video clip shows everything in the most transparent way. The installation of the fiber optic drone, its cables and the launch pad are clearly visible.
Ну, я тоже готов, бля. Все скажешь, как это. Ваш миль, наблюдай картинку, прием.
Картинку поджигай.
Да, принял, поджигаю.
Images from the Toretsk direction. 4 Russian tanks were attacked by Ukrainian drones as they advanced for the operation. Ukrainian drones attacked intensively. One of the tanks was disabled. The second tank suffered minor damage. It was decided not to risk the crew and to postpone the operation. The faulty tank had to be left in place. Ukrainian drones attacked for several days, tried in every possible way to destroy the Russian equipment. But this did not happen. The Russians decided to take the tank back. A few days later, the tank was recovered and repaired. It will soon be back in action again. Footage of the tank being serviced and repaired. Sumy direction. The Ukrainian armed forces drove an American-made Bradley BMP into a populated area where a group of Russian infantry was waiting for it. As the armored vehicle approached, a Russian drone suddenly appeared out of nowhere and struck the Bradley hard. The crew of the armored car panicked and abandoned the armored car and drove away. Later, another drone arrived and delivered the final blow to the Bradley. Two soldiers of the Russian armed forces first fired 2 shots from a grenade launcher at the house where the soldiers of the armed forces of Ukraine were staying. Then the 2 soldiers slowly approached the house to engage in a close-range firefight. Meanwhile, Russian drone operators are monitoring the whole situation from the air and informing the infantry on the ground. They inform the Russian soldiers about the movements of the Ukrainian soldiers and what they are doing. The simultaneous coordination of the troops is really important for the success of the operations. Several temporary deployment points and positions of Ukrainian armed forces troops in the settlement in the Pokrovsk direction were repeatedly hit by Russian FPV attack drones. During the strikes, technological equipment such as booster antennas were destroyed. What do you think about FPV drones, and how important do you think these small but effective weapons have been in the course of the war? A lot of drones communicate through signals, so jammers can disrupt their communication. But drones like the fiber-optic drone Prince Vandal of Novgorod communicate via cable, so it is almost impossible to intercept them. An FPV drone, VT-40, destroyed an American APC M113 with a modified turret in the Kherson region. What do you think about the drone destroying such expensive equipment with one hit? The state of drone technology in modern warfare has drastically changed the course of the war.